from Dubai, who is very, very busy always. So we are meeting in the morning. This is Khadija, founder and CEO of Meet the Locals. That is a wonderful company that connects you with the wealth of United Arab Emirates. Good morning, Sabah al-Khair, Ramadan Kareem, dear Khadija.
Good morning, Sabah al-Khair.
Nice to see you. Dear Khadija, tell me please, United Arab Emirates was made only 49 years ago. And I believe the country changed dramatically. It was a small village where people were diving, getting pearls, fishing, and now it is one of the best and most progressive countries in the world. What are you feeling about it?
I am grateful to be like a national, a UAE national. This year we will be celebrating 50 years of the UAE Federation, which we are all proud of. And this is because of the vision of our leaders. We have a really great leaders who cares about their nation. And we are all, as Emiratis and expats in this country, we are working hard together in order to make great achievements for the country.
That is wonderful, and I'm so happy to hear to that, especially that I live in United Arab Emirates and my parents lived there for 20 years, and we're really proud and love this country so much. Dear Khadija, you made a business which called Meet the Locals, which is a very unusual name. Nobody will understand. Shuyani, what is that? Why Meet the Locals? And what's the meaning? Can you explain, please, what is your business about?
Sure. We are like Meet the Locals is a social Emirati tourism company specialized in Emirati culture. We provide opportunities for the expat people, whether they are tourists or residents, to meet local people and to know more about the Emirati culture. When I decided to get into the tourism business, I was thinking what is missing in the market. So I started brainstorming, and I found that because we have a lot of tourism companies in Dubai or in the UAE in general, and we get like millions of tourists every year. So what was missing is interaction with the local people. Like tourists were coming and they were visiting the different touristic attractions, and they were leaving the country without getting the chance of meeting local people. Another thing is maybe like not all the people know about this, especially who are not living in the UAE. Like we as Emirati nationals, we are only 10 to 11% of the total population. So we have like a big percentage of our population are expat residents. So we are also providing this service for our expat residents to get closer to our culture, because many of them, they are born here or they are living here for a long period of time, but still maybe they are not that close to the culture. Still they get confused between like the Emirati food and the Arabic food. So we are here like to clarify all this misunderstanding people could have.
Khadija, I know that you have a good job, a good salary, everything, like settled, and everything is nice. And then, Mamma Mia, you decide to leave your job and you decided to start the business, which is very unstable, especially nowadays in COVID times. How was the reaction of your family, of your friends to that decision?
Actually, it was a hard decision, but although like I loved my job, but you will be living only once, so you have to follow your passion. I found out if you are working for a company, kind of, you cannot guarantee like things will go as it is, or sometimes things could change like overnight. So, but when you are running your own business, first of all, you are following your passion. You are the decision maker. So kind of if you have creative ideas, you can implement them like immediately. Like you don't have to wait for anyone's approval. Because like when you're working for a company, you have to suggest the approval and suggest the idea, and then the idea should be like approved. Sometimes they decline it. So when you are running this your own business, you are like in the control of the business. You are in control of the people you would like to work with. You are in control of the environment of your business. So you can keep it healthy, you can keep it positive, and every day you will be meeting like great people. So it's really something really nice, which I really enjoy it.
That is very brave of you, because you know somebody who can refuse from being paid from the salary and go being a decision maker and to run your own ship, to be the captain of your own ship. That is of course challenging, but very interesting, as you said. Tell me please about Meet the Locals. Actually, what are you doing? What we can know about Emirati culture? Because most of the tourists and even expats who live in Dubai, they said for 20 years, we didn't talk to a single local person. We know nothing. And of course, it's very strange and unusual. How can a person live in the country for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years and never talk to local person? So tell us, what are you doing, Khadija, to improve it?
Okay, so first of all, when we started this company, we started with offering cultural meal events. For example, we run Emirati breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We announce it, and whoever is interested, they will be joining us. And we welcome them. Normally, we run it in an Emirati restaurant. We welcome the guest. We introduce them to the Emirati cuisine. And before even that, like we let each person to introduce themselves, like briefly, just to break the ice at the beginning. And then we will get into explaining about the Emirati food, like what are the ingredients, what is it called, when we eat it, how we prepare it. And after that, we also like to hear from our guests if they have something similar in their own culture. Like many times they say like, we have kind of a similar dish in our culture, which is similar to your dish, but we call it something else, or we prepare it a bit like in a different way. So this is like kind of having like a cultural exchange with different cultures. And what is nice is also we will be meeting people from different nationalities. So they will be trying our food. They will be giving us their feedback, which dishes, for example, they like the most. And then we will be also covering some other cultural topics. We open the floor for them to ask us any questions they have. Many times they ask why women wear like black, why men wear white.
Yes, I will
Besides
ask you
that,
this question, Khadija. Why women are wearing black? Why men are wearing white?
okay, there are several like stories. First of all, like there is one story that there was a famous poet about the who wrote about the beauty of the black color. So then women all started like wearing the black color. Okay, and another thing which is the most reason why we wear black, because of modesty. The black color, it's very hard to see through. It's unlike the other colors. So in our culture, we have to cover our body. So therefore, we wear the abaya. So a lot of people, they get confused between like culture and religion. In our religion, we have to cover our body. Like we should not show like our body to other people, especially like for men. So we should wear like modest clothes. Okay, but the black color, it's like a culture. It's not from the religion. The religion doesn't say like you have to stick to the black color.
Because
Okay.
many people think men are wearing white because they're like guards, and women just
No,
following them.
that's totally, no, it's totally wrong. And for men, because mostly, like men will, we're traveling and, the white color, the material of the white color will stay cool. It will not absorb the heat. So especially in the past, they were like traveling, they were living in the desert. So mostly men were going out for like traveling and so on. So it is cooler for them to wear the white color.
Khadija, this is a very interesting answer. Tell me, please, what is missing? Like Meet the Locals, as I understand, it's a company mostly for tourists who want to know Emirati culture, the culture of United Arab Emirates, meet local people, ask them questions, and to know how it was before 49 years ago. By your own experience, you're a young lady, you were born in United Arab Emirates. What is missing? What changed for the last 49 years? I know that everything changed, but what is the biggest change for you?
I believe there are a lot of changes, like especially the landscape, many years back, like in 1990s, like some areas where we were living in, like today when you will go there, it's totally different. We have huge projects happening everywhere. I believe the landscape, the new projects, this is like the hugest development.
This is the biggest change for you. Tell me,
Mm-hmm.
please, I know that a lot of people cannot get used to these quick changes. And I know that some local people, old people, they even leave Dubai and they go to the desert to stay there to calm down because they're afraid of these quick changes in the country. Have you heard about that?
Yeah, sometimes like it is nice, but sometimes we also like miss the old way of living. But I believe we have it kind of both now. Like we have still the desert side is there. So normally in the UAE, especially during the winter time when the weather is really nice, we avoid going to like shopping malls. We avoid going to busy places. We like to go and spend time with our friends or family in the desert where we cook there, like we do like kind of a barbecue, we relax there, we have a conversation. So it's like a calm place to be in, or even like to, like refresh your mind, because we all currently like we have a very busy life in the city. So it's really a nice place to detox your mind.
Tell me, please, Khadija, your project, it's a business. How you are trying or how you're doing, how you're monetizing your business? How mean the locals
Okay.
become business, or it is still, how to say, social project just for the country?
Sure. Actually, like we started unofficially in 2016. We were just testing the idea. So we were doing the meal events, but we were not charging people, or they were just paying the restaurant whatever they order. Because we wanted to know if there will be a demand on these services or not. After that, like we officially registered the company in 2017. And as you know, like for the business to grow, you will need like income to generate, and in order to reinvest in the business, to come up with new ideas, implement new projects. So here it became a business, but we always keep in mind like our prices. We would like to keep our prices like reasonable for the tourist and the residents. So before like setting a price, even like I would think like what is the value I'm providing, and if I was the customer, will I be paying this amount in order to get this service? And besides actually like the cultural meal events, we also expanded our services to include tour guiding by Emirati tour guide. Myself, I went and I got my tour guide license. Currently, I'm a certified tour guide in Dubai and Abu Dhabi and Sharjah. So we do a lot of city tours, like or cultural tours, which is really we give deep information about the culture in our tours. So our tours is rich in cultural content. Also, we expanded to include some corporate services, which includes like cultural induction for corporate employees. Many people they travel to the UAE in order to work here, or we have a lot of expat workers who are working in different organizations in the UAE. But many of them they are not aware of the culture, so we have kind of like a full program for them to introduce them about the culture. We will be covering different aspects of the culture, like the Emirati food, the traditional dress, what is accepted in the culture, what is not accepted. So kind of they will get an overview about the UAE culture, and they will feel by knowing this information, they will feel more comfortable living with us. Like when they are clear about what is accepted and what is not. We also do like a lot of customized services. It's like we really care about the quality. For example, if we have a tour of like let's say a tour where 50 people are joining, many times you will see a company who has 50 guests, they will hire only one tour guide to be with them. For us, we will be having like more tour guides because we have kind of a ratio. So we want to divide the group into smaller groups, and each group will be having a tour guide, because we want to ensure that everyone will be having the information, everyone will be having the chance to ask the questions. And yeah, we really care a lot about the quality.
Khadija, this is very nice, and this, of course, breaks a lot of stereotypes, because a lot of European people think that for Emirati lady, the most important is to get married and to have kids and to sit in the house. And for them, it will be shocking that ladies are working, that they have their own bank accounts, they do some financial services. How is that? Is it the same like before, that a woman should be married and have 5 kids and sitting in the house, or there is no a rule like that?
Yeah, before actually answering this question, I will go back to the previous question, which you asked if the company is still like a social enterprise or currently we are making profit, but sometimes when we have a client like schools, which we know like they are tight in budget. So sometimes we do a kind of free tours or like according to their budget, we arrange something to them. And why we call ourselves as a social enterprise? Because we also we support, for example, whenever we have festivals where it's required for some women to do like weaving, Emirati handicraft, or like cooking some Emirati breads or sweets, we hire them. Like we know some families who has some financial needs, so we, or like widows, so we deal with them. As long as they can provide the service with the quality we want, we hire them in order to generate income for them also. So this is why we call ourselves like a social enterprise. We are also empowering the youth, like we're encouraging local people to get into tourism, to become tour guides, to enhance their skills and so on. Now, like your new question, I believe like Emirati women today, like the majority of them, they are working. At the same time, they are looking after their families. So um, it's like they are doing like some multitasks.
And I also know that Emirati women, believe it or not, are more ambitious than men. I don't want to hurt any man, because of course they also tamuha jiddan, but I know that there is the first cosmonaut Emirati lady, the lady who put Sputnik to the space, to the Mars. There are a lot of ladies working in the police. So I think ladies now are everywhere and they are moving very quickly.
Yeah, actually, like I cannot say like gender-wise, like women are more ambitious or men are not. Actually, in both genders, you will find like people who are ambitious, people who are maybe a bit less ambitious. But in general, like I believe a lot of women, because like in the past, so especially like maybe men were going out to work more than women. But today, like we have more women in the workplace. We have more women graduating from schools and universities.
Khadija, I want this company meet the locals, help tourists, help people, foreigners who live in Dubai and United Arab Emirates. So if they want to find you, how they can do that?
We have an Instagram account called Meet the Locals UAE. So they can approach us by sending us a message like directly, or they can contact us we have the email address, which is info@meetthelocalsuae.com. And if they will go to the Instagram page, they can find also the phone number. We have a WhatsApp number, so we can communicate.
My last question to you, what is your biggest dream for now?
I want to like expand to other emirates, to cover the whole Emirates, to have like a team in each emirate to represent the Emirati culture for the expat people. And in the next level, even I would like to let people to meet local people outside the UAE. So kind of, like to have an international platform where people who are interested to meet the local people, they can go to this platform and find these unique, authentic cultural experiences. So they can
Khadija, this
experience.
is great. This is great dream. This is very big dream, and I want your business meet the local grow. I want more people to know about it, to meet local people, because how can you know the country if you never talk to local person? It's ما في ممكن abadan. You need to talk. You need to know. You need to study, and you need to unite.
Yes, I agree. I totally agree with you.
And thank you so much for being with us. That was Khadija with Meet the Locals. Please use the service of Meet the Locals.